going to talk more about mortgages. Today we're going to specifically talk about different ways of paying your mortgage, and we're going to try to find some ways that would make it a little bit cheaper, right? We want to get rid of that mortgage as quickly as possible. Quickly being a relative term, considering most people take 20 years or more to do so. So we have all these options here where you can make your mortgage payments. You can make them monthly, semi-monthly, bi-weekly, etc. So we're going to go through each one. So if you pay monthly, obviously you're going to pay how many times a year? 12 times. There's 12 months in a year, so 12 payments per year. This is by far the most common option, and the payment's made on the same day every month. For example, it might be the 1st of the month or the 15th of the month or whatever. So we're going to do an example here. Let's imagine that someone's monthly payment is $1,000. So that's their monthly payment, and they're going to pay 12 times a year, which means the total amount of money they're going to pay in the whole year is $12,000. Now, that's not all going to go to principal. That's going to go to interest and principal, but we're not going to worry about that right now. We're just worried about how much money they're actually putting towards the mortgage and the interest, and it's $12,000. Okay, we're going to compare that with all these other options. So the next option is semi-monthly. That means you cut the month in half. So there's going to be 24 payments per year, right? 2 per month. So basically what you do is you take the monthly payment and you divide it by 2. So instead of spending $1,000 a month on your payment, for each one of your semi-monthly, you'd take that 1,000 and divide it by 2, so it'd be 500 for every single one of your payments. But now it wouldn't be 12 payments, it would be 24. Well, you know what happens if you multiply 500 times 24? You end up with the exact same amount. You still put $12,000 in. So is this going to make a big difference? No, not very much. It will. The reason it won't make a big difference is you're paying the same amount. It will be a little bit better because of getting some of that money paid off faster. It means a little bit less interest will be charged. So it's going to be a little bit better, and we'll take a look at that later, but not very dramatic. Okay, bi-weekly. Bi-weekly means every 2 weeks. So if you think of it, every 2 weeks, and there's 52 weeks in a year, 52 divided by 2 is 26 payments per year. But here's the thing, you still pay the same amount because all you do is you take your monthly payment, that $1,000, you multiply it by 12, so you get $12,000, and you divide it by 26 since there's 26 payments. So you end up with a bi-weekly payment of $461.54. Now, you're going to make 26 of those a year. So if you multiply that out, guess what? You're back at $12,000 again. So again, this isn't going to make a big difference for the same reason as before, because you're paying the exact same amount. Again, is it going to be a little bit better because you're getting that money in the bank faster? Yeah, a little bit, but really not that much. All right, now we get to something that's powerful, accelerated bi-weekly. So how's this different? Well, the difference is you still have your 26 payments per year because it is bi-weekly, but the amount you pay is calculated this way. You take your monthly payment, that $1,000, and you divide it by 2. Wait a minute, so you actually are taking the semi-monthly amount, the $500, but instead of multiplying it by 24, this time you're multiplying it by 26. So you're getting an extra 2 payments per year. This is going to make a difference, a fairly significant difference. So again, your payment is $500, just like it was for semi-monthly, but this time instead of paying it 24 times, you're paying 26 times. So you actually end up spending $13,000. An extra $1,000 is actually going to go a long way. Okay, weekly. Well, we already said in a year there are 52 weeks. So you're going to have 52 payments per year. Again, this one's not such a big deal. You take your monthly payment, which was $1,000, right? That was our monthly, $1,000. You multiply it by 12 again, so you get 12,000, and then you divide it by 52. That gives you $230.77. If you multiply that by the number of payments per year, 52, you're back to your 12,000. So this option as well doesn't make a huge difference. You pay the same amount as monthly. Okay, now we have another accelerated. This is accelerated weekly. So it is weekly, so you're making 52 payments per year. But here's how you get your weekly amount. You're going to take your monthly, which was 1,000, and you're going to divide it in 4 because there's 4 weeks in a month. So you're going to divide the 1,000 by 4. You're actually going to end up paying $250 each week. Remember up here for weekly we paid $230. Well, now we're paying that extra 20 bucks. We're now paying $250, and you are multiplying it by 52. So again, you get a total of 13,000, just like you did with the accelerated bi-weekly. The accelerated weekly is going to give you a little bit of a boost because again, you're getting more money in sooner than with the bi-weekly. So the accelerated options are great options if you can afford them. Okay, other ways that you can speed up the payment of your mortgage. One is called the double up. This is a clause in many mortgages that allows you to pay double your usual amount on one or more occasions during the year. So let's say you were doing, let's keep it simple, let's say you're doing the monthly and you're paying $1,000 a month. They might have an option that once a year or maybe twice a year, you're allowed to pay double as much. You're allowed to pay $2,000. And anytime you can get extra money paying off that mortgage, it really does pay off, especially if you're paying that little extra bit at the start of your mortgage. The sooner you can do that, the more powerful that's going to be. It goes back to our compound interest that we talked about before. Okay, a lump sum is pretty similar. It's often only allowed on the anniversary of your mortgage. So if you started your mortgage September 1st, 2020, then you might have an opportunity to pay this lump sum September 1st, 2021. And it's usually you can pay any amount up to 20% of, not or, of the remaining balance. Of the remaining balance. So if you still owe $100,000, then you could pay up to $20,000 as a lump sum. Okay, probably the most powerful thing you could do to pay off your mortgage faster is to literally shorten the amortization period. So rather than having a 25-year mortgage, if you could have a 20-year mortgage or a 15-year mortgage. Now it's hard to do because it means you have higher monthly payments. But the good news is you make fewer payments. This has a huge impact. It's often also, it's kind of a double whammy. Not only do you make fewer payments, but it often allows for lower interest rates. The longer your mortgage is, like a 25 or 30-year mortgage, you're going to pay higher interest rates. If you can afford to just have a 10 or 15-year mortgage, you're going to get lower interest rates, which is a very good thing. Okay, let's do some questions. We're definitely going to use the online calculators for this. Okay, a couple has a mortgage of $100,000. Some shack in Vancouver, I suppose. 8% is the interest rate. It's amortized over 25 years, so it's going to take 25 years to pay it off. And they make monthly payments on the mortgage. It's monthly. So the first thing I want to know is how much will they save if they reduce the amortization period to 15 years? Oh, instead of spending 25 years to pay it off, if they only take 15 years. This is going to make a big difference. So basically what we want to do is we want to know how much will they pay over 25 years, and then how much would they pay if they actually shortened it to a 15-year mortgage. So we're going to have to do both. Let's check this out. We're going to try another online calculator. I'm going to try this one. It's called Mortgage Intelligence. Looks pretty good and allows you to do payments, which we're going to have to do later. So payment type, we're going to do our mortgage payment monthly, it said. The original amortization was 25 years. Years remaining, well, let's say we're just starting. Doesn't matter that one, but I'll put 25. The original mortgage was not 600,000, it was only 100,000. The interest rate was 8, and for now we're not doing any payments. So there we go. I like this one. You don't even have to hit calculate. It gives you the values right here. The total scheduled payments that you're going to have to make, 228,966. Your every mortgage payment will be this much, 763, but you're going to have to pay 228,966. Let's write that down. Okay, now let's see what happens if we turn that from 25-year mortgage into a 15-year mortgage. So this will be really fast. All I have to do is change years remaining. I'll put that 15. Doesn't impact anything. But if I change this to 15, this is the actual mortgage. You can see what happens is our payments go up to 948. It was 763. But look at the difference it makes in your total payment. Now you're actually only going to pay 170,668. And that's a really big difference, isn't it? In fact, that's what the question's asking us. How much do you save if you go to the 15 years? So basically what we have to do is subtract those two numbers. And you end up saving $58,298. Wow, that's impressive. If you can afford the shorter mortgage, do it. Take a smaller amortization period every time. Okay, how much will they save if they stay at 25 years but they make an annual $750 lump payment? So every year, probably on the anniversary of their mortgage, they're going to pay an extra $750. So the first thing we have to do is put this one, the original amortization, back to 25 years. So we're going to go back to that 228 number we saw before. But this time we're going to make a payment. It's not a huge amount. It's only $750. And I mean, I know it's a nice amount of money, but it's not massive. It's only like 15 extra bucks a week. And if you do that every year, so yearly, let's see what happens to our total scheduled payments. The monthly payments stay the same because that, is just a lump sum. But look at, now our payment goes from 228 down to 219. You're saving almost $10,000 just by putting $750 in a month. That's impressive. They've got the savings for you right here. Oh, wow, I don't even have to do the math. Your savings is $9,176. Okay, how much will they save if they stay at 25 years but increase their monthly payments by $100? So in other words, what I'm saying is, if you make an additional payment every month of $100, so now instead of paying $763.21 a month, you're actually paying $863.21 when you add on the $100, and I make that monthly. Look at how much I save now, $12,508. Again, coming up with $100 a month, not the easiest thing in the world. It is $25 a week, but come on, $25 a week? We're talking like less than $4 a day. Guess what I'm going to tell you to cut out of your life? The coffee, the Starbucks. You do that, you could save yourself $12,000 in the cost of your mortgage. So the savings was $12,508. Okay, last question. I hope this doesn't take an hour to fill in. Fill in a table for all the options. Consider a $142,772.35 mortgage, amortized over 25 years at 7%. So let's fill all that in. We're going to take away our payment, 7%, 25 years, 142,772 and 35 cents. And the first thing we want to know is monthly. So it says our first payment will be $1,000. How long will it take? The amortization? Well, obviously 25 years. If it's not accelerated, it's going to be 25 years. So it's going to be 25 here for semi-monthly, 25 for bi-weekly, 25 for weekly. The accelerated ones will be a little faster. How much interest was paid? This one doesn't show me interest, it just shows the total payment. So what I'm going to have to do is take that $299,998 and take away the principal. That'll give me the interest. And when I do that, I get $157,226. And then it asks for the interest saved, and well, this is kind of the worst case scenario, is paying monthly, so your interest saved is 0. You didn't save anything. Alright, let's try again, but let's go semi-monthly. So all we have to do is change this top one to semi-monthly. Your payment in that amount is now $499.28. For interest paid, again, you have to take the $299,571 and subtract the $142,772. And you get almost the same amount. You get $156,799. So, you save $400. It's not horrible. To get the interest saved, you're going to subtract this total from monthly, subtract the semi-monthly. And you ended up saving $427. Okay, let's go to bi-weekly. Shouldn't make a huge difference again. Click this, bi-weekly. Our payment's now $460.82. So it is better for sure. We're getting better. It's not a massive improvement, but it's good. And then we take our $299,542, which is our total payments, take away the principal to get the interest. And we get $156,770. Wow, really not a huge difference. It was only $29 more than this one, than the semi-monthly. So again, to get the interest saved, always take it from the monthly. This one, monthly, take away the bi-weekly. And it's $456. Okay, I'm going to skip down to weekly. I'm going to keep the accelerated ones for the last. So weekly is up here. Our payment is now $230.26. And for our interest, take the $299,338 and subtract the $142,772. You end up with $156,566. Again, not a very dramatic difference. Let's subtract that amount from monthly to see how much interest we saved. It's $660. All right, those weren't dramatic. Now let's get to the good ones, the accelerated biweekly and accelerated weekly. Okay, so let's do accelerated biweekly first. Our payments are now $500. We'll come back to the amortization because it's not going to be 25 anymore. It's going to be less than that. Let's figure out the interest first. So for interest, we take the 267,000 number and subtract the 142. And it gives you a lovely number. It gives you 124,237. That's a pretty good savings, people. Let's see just how much you saved. Let's subtract that number from the 157 up here. Wow, by going accelerated biweekly, you saved $32,989. $33,000 you saved. This is dramatic. Plus, you get financial freedom sooner. Your amortization is no longer 25 years. Sadly, this calculator isn't telling me exactly how long it took to pay off the mortgage, so I'm going to go to our original one. I should have stuck with it. I've put in all the information here, and it tells me it takes 534 payments. But remember, we're doing this bi-weekly, which is 26 payments a year. So if I divide that 534 by 26, it'll tell me that it's 20.54 years. So 4.5 years faster that you now own your house. That's exciting too. All right, let's go to accelerated weekly. So I'll start back at this one just for consistency's sake. Accelerated weekly, our payment is now $250. To get interest paid, we're going to take the $266,000 here and subtract the principal, $142,772, and you get the best number of all, $123,849. So now we'll subtract that from the monthly to get our savings. It's a savings of $33,377. So it's not a ton different than accelerated biweekly. It is a little bit better, but again, those two options are so much better than all the other options. If you can do the accelerated options, go for it. All right, how long did it take to pay it off when it was accelerated weekly? Let's go to our original one, which I should have stuck with. Go to accelerated weekly, calculate. It tells me that it took 1,066 payments this time. But this is weekly, so I'm going to divide that 1,066 by 52, and I get 20.5 years, just a tiny bit faster than the accelerated biweekly. All right, everyone, it's a lot to think about, but these are huge decisions to make one day in your life when you buy a house. Take care. Bye-bye.